Welcome to GigaBrain, brought to you by Spell Labs. This is the podcast where we speak to the smartest minds across the DeFi space, exploring the ideas, innovations, and people shaping the future of crypto.
Welcome to our guest to another episode of GigaBrain podcast. Now we are with Autowhale, with Thomas here, the founder and CEO of Autowhale. So Autowhale is helping build the bridge between TradFi and crypto with sophisticated execution and automation tools. And we are here today to learn a little bit more about this company. So thank you, Thomas, for being here. And please start with a quick intro about yourself, your professional background, prior roles, and why are you in crypto and why Autowhale? Please, the floor is yours.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks. Great to be here. Thanks for the invite. My background is in software engineering. Myself personally been in crypto since like 2016. This is when I first kind of got into it. I was still in school back then, and quickly realized that this is what I want to do and this is the space I want to work in. It's kind of the intersection of finance, technology, economics, politics, and kind of all the good stuff combined in one place, which I like. And so early on I was like as a software developer working as a freelancer building software for projects, mostly actually in the algo trading space. So built algo trading software or like specific strategies for a couple of different projects, token projects, later on then funds. And that like made me realize the need of the infrastructure that's missing for funds, for institutions to onboard in crypto actually. And this is then when I met my co-founder Sam, that was like 2.5 years ago. And then we kind of went from building software for crypto projects, for companies, to actually building a product itself that is then catered to institutions, funds to, as you said, do execution, but also have the back office, the reporting, the portfolio management, administration all in one place, and kind of build an ecosystem and a platform for covering all aspects in terms of fund management and institutional use cases.
Perfect. By the way, how did you met Sam? Because Sam is also super mega legend in the space. Like I see him everywhere. You know, I now see you everywhere. Like you guys are always traveling, always moving. So also really curious about your co-founder relation and how that started.
Yeah, sure. I met Sam very randomly in Singapore at Token 2049. That was 2.5 years ago now. Probably 2.5 years ago. So it was at a random side event. We were at I believe it was a kind of yacht event that we have been to, and it was late night. It was not so good. We were kind of a group of random crypto buddies kind of walking home to the hotel, and then there was this other event where we didn't have the ticket, and Sam said, let's try to sneak in there. Most people went home. I joined him, and then this is how we got started talking, and stayed in touch after that. Kind of got along very well. I myself more the kind of technical background, and Sam more the kind of outgoing marketing, kind of guy who's also doing his own podcast. And he's extending it.
Absolutely. And so why Autowhale and why now? Like take us on the journey of what is Autowhale, what you guys are really doing, and how are you really reshaping the market and the current narratives?
Yeah, sure. I mean, at the moment, and this has been like ongoing over the last, I'd say, year or so, but also specifically in the next future, I see a lot of institutional capital flowing into the space, a lot of more maturity in terms of all the kind of institutional products, institutional adoption use cases that are out there. And in crypto, it's like it has been Wild West when I joined, but it's still kind of Wild West when it comes to these institutional tools out there. And what is already there is kind of more, I would say, more legacy type systems, and it's not keeping up with like adopting in DeFi use cases, adopting with new protocols that come up, and to have to something that does justice to the nature and to the dynamics and to the kind of complexity of the disaster ecosystem that we have right now. It needs to be a crypto native company to build that is agile to keep up with that, but still have the kind of quality and the kind of power and the quality of institutional grade software that we are looking to build, and kind of we try to combine it in one approach and have still like crypto native like mindsets going and solving those things, but still catering to institutions and funds and having like a good product that they can use and manage their funds.
Taking now these last sentences that you were saying, like, so what is really the mission and the core product? So you are saying that, of course, you are bringing all these novelties. So if you can explain a little bit about the core products that you are offering and how does that work, and how are you onboarding clients and the type of clients you are onboarding, and how are you doing this and making Autowhale like the best software ever?
Yes. So in a nutshell, we are a tool for institutions, a platform for institutions to manage their portfolios. So that means you're connecting your different centralized accounts, you're connecting your wallets, and you have all your data and you're reporting in one place. That's the kind of foundation of what we are doing. On top of that, since we have like a single point of all the performance data, of all the data that the funds are managing, we can allow them to communicate with their LPs, have proper reporting of the performance of the funds. And on the other side, and this is what we are building in the future, is a way how funds can communicate and find new LPs in terms of allocations, as well as quants who can connect with fund admins in our execution algo trading infrastructure, so they can basically have their strategies being automated and executed in Autowhale, and fund admins have a way to reliably track performance metrics and performances of different quants in the infrastructure natively, and then allocate in a multi-strategy way, basically. And we cover kind of the rails behind that, meaning we have the foundation, as I said, where we have the portfolio management, we have the execution, and then the actual strategies and the actual LPs that are onboarded. These are like external sort of players that are that we can onboard on the platform and connect with the different funds that are our users. So that's to this second question you asked, like that user base of liquid funds, or in general companies that manage a liquid portfolio. Typically, these are crypto native liquid funds at the moment. Anything like, I would say, from a 5 to 100 million AUM is sort of the sweet spot in terms of our client base, but obviously it's evolving as well, and we are kind of growing also with our customer base.
Perfect. So and taking exactly this last point. So you said that your target clients are exactly the family offices, high net worth, liquid funds. And how are you onboarding them? And what is your strategy to really approach these clients? And how are you approaching them? And what is the response regards to your product? And so how is that symbiotic relation?
Yeah, it's interesting because a fund has in itself like 2 or 3 pain points. The 2 most pressing ones are, first, they need to raise funds, like LPs. Second pain point is there needs to be some alpha, some strategies to which to allocate to. And third of all, the whole landscape in which you manage all of that is sort of fragmented. It's not ideal. You have like lots of funds use Google Sheets or spreadsheets. They have a custodian somewhere else. They have an execution desk somewhere else, and everything is kind of fragmented and not really streamlined and ideal. And so by having this platform where you can connect LPs, quants, and fund admins together with the back office and the kind of rails we have in terms of the administration, portfolio management, execution, it's kind of covering all these use cases in one place. And we have, I think, a very unique offering when we speak with funds, as we are able to kind of have a free tier of our product, which in other cases would be a quite extensive onboarding process. So in our case, it's quite like generous free tier that we offer, and then we would like to kind of grow together with the clients, onboard them to introduce them to other aspects of the platform, onboard them there, help them out, and then kind of grow together with them. And so it's often also like, yeah,
Right. So and taking these investors, big institutional investors, and especially more family offices, we have very specific needs, or some specific high net worth people. Like, what are their concerns in terms of the market, in terms of the software? What are their requirements, for this type of solution?
main concerns you often hear are things like OPSEC, like security in terms of their data, privacy of their data is obviously very, very key. When I mean privacy of data, it also includes like strategies and execution. So yeah, order flow and trading that the clients are doing is something that is very, very. This is kind of the intellectual property, or like the kind of foundation of every fund, is that their thesis and their way of trading is unique to them, and so that's something that is crucial to not be exposed to others. That's obviously the main part. Another thing obviously is like regulatory requirements. So some funds have different ways of reporting, different requirements of reporting, depending on how the fund is structured, depending what legislation it is in. And so these are like, when it comes to the reporting side, specific requirements they're having. I would say these are the key points.
So you say, for example, this reporting part, this is something that is still missing on more like crypto native side, right? So Autowhale is now bridging this gap and bringing this to these funds, to these users, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a way to communicate. Like what we do is a way to that helps funds communicate with the LPs and report in an efficient way. That's beyond like a simple NED or P&L reporting. This can go really granular, and ultimately, since we have all the data from all the different sources, it allows us to find really it allows us to build really dedicated metrics that are then like required by different jurisdictions or different funds, and it's something that we can offer pretty flexibly with the software we have built.
Got it. And now moving here the conversation a little bit for the competitor side, competitor landscape. So as you know, we are working on Hyperliquid. We are building on Hyperliquid right now. And one of the questions that I have for you is like, what really differentiates Autowhale from high performance DEXs, and how do you see like platforms like Hyperliquid? Are they like your competitors? Are they complementary for what you guys are doing, or how do you see this competitive landscape nowadays?
100% complementary, so not at all competition. Hyperliquid is something that you can use even without Whale. So when you do execution, you can run execution or algo strategies on Hyperliquid through Autowhale. It's not at all competitive. It's just a way. It's a great product in itself. Hyperliquid, I use it personally, and it's just like if you speak with every kind of fund, it's kind of the new thing, and everybody wants every layer 1, layer 2 wants to have a Hyperliquid, obviously. So
Perfect. Perfect.
it's
And,
what
and
we do.
so how, you prefer a more centralized or more decentralized execution, and where do you think the trend is going?
I mean, execution often, like, it's from a regulatory perspective for funds not as is easy to just go on the DEX, connect your MetaMask and press the green button. Like often it's you have to have like the best price execution algorithm. For example, in the German area, you have to have like best price across 3 venues that is required by regulatory standards if you do execution. And these venues have to be MiCA licensed, so you could take a Kraken, OKX, and KuCoin, for example. I think KuCoin is going to get MiCA licensed soon, but anyway, like you have 3 venues that you need to use, and that would be centralized ones. For decentralized funds, I would personally hope to see more going in the direction of also decentralized exchanges, that more funds can trade there, because I think there's still like lots of inefficiencies that funds can execute on or like profit from in the DeFi space, and it's certainly going there. But I can't tell like how fast it's going to be, or if it's more going to be a gradual process. It's also going to be more like for the smaller, medium-sized funds, because the liquidity is not there that a 100 million plus AUM fund can like play with lots of these DeFi protocols.
Yeah, absolutely. So in your opinion, what will you prefer, a SEX or a DEX, and who will win in long term, in your opinion, as a software for funds?
I think it's not going to be a winner takes it all game there, honestly, because DEXs in itself, from the from their like from their nature, it's like something that can be built fast. New products can launch fast. Regular people, like when you look at meme coins, nobody cares about regulation. It's just you do something, break something fast, build something fast. But then on the other side, when you're institution of a substantial size, you're not going to be using those protocols. So they will have to have proper account managers. They will need licensed venues that they trade on. They will need other regulatory requirements from a custodian perspective, for example, how to keep their funds and so on. And these points are often contradicting with those more degen or crypto native DeFi protocols. So I do believe that we have the long tail of funds who can and who are willing, and we also work with a couple of those who are like more active on the DeFi side, and they're using new protocols. But this is more the long tail side of crypto funds, in my opinion. The kind of more regulated you are, and the bigger the funds are, the less those will become relevant. They will of course use things like Uniswap, Hyperliquid and stuff like that, because also the liquidity is there. But it, like, especially when it comes to like HFT and stuff like that, you'll still be using centralized exchanges. But there's also a lot of interesting strategies across DeFi and CeFi where you have hybrid strategies. So it's I don't think it's a winner takes it all. It will be still coexisting.
Yeah, so you just mentioned DeFi, and I wanted to ask specifically about that. So specifically for DeFi, which area of DeFi and crypto are these funds most interested in? And how does Autowhale actually feeds into those DeFi strategies?
Yeah, like two things I would say are the case. So one are like staking and restaking strategies that funds are doing, especially also on the stablecoin side. Yield generating strategies are a big thing right now. So everything that is in the yield generating aspect, I think is way better suited on DeFi also compared to CeFi. Yeah, and if you ask like how Autowhale is coming in there, I would say on the tracking side, we are tracking, assets across all different kinds of chains that we have integrated. We are tracking swaps, we are tracking staking positions, we are tracking LP positions. And so kind of from a tracking perspective, all of that, we want to have as holistic of a picture as possible. And then on the actual trading side of things, we are a bit careful in terms of what we offer there, because we are not going to be custodians and we don't want to be the ones who are providing kind of custody of assets. So we do have some setups that we worked out in which we can still offer trading execution on DEXs without having custody ourselves. We're working together with the client there, where we give the very simply put, where we give the client the software and they can execute it themselves. And for that, we have like seen mainly requests in regards to swap DEXs and Hyperliquid. This has been the most requested things, obviously. Yeah.
And by the way, are you guys surfing the AI trend? Are you using AI at all on your software, or this is something that it's maybe in the roadmap, it not at all, or what is your opinion on that? Bringing AI to crypto, like it seems to be the trend, but not all the companies are doing it, and also depends really on the product, right? Some product makes sense to have AI, some others doesn't make sense at all. So curious on that.
Yeah, we use AI to build the software, obviously, but actively using AI in the product, I'm careful. Like anything that's coming, like if you like build a trading strategy, marketplace or platform connected with AI, it like rings all alarm bells for me, because it's kind of the natural like I don't know, that doesn't have that doesn't make that much sense. What we do, I personally see like large language models being a different user interface compared to a typical UI, which you click through. So what I do see interesting is like all the data that we have in terms of the reporting side of things, to plug that into an LLM and offer that as a different way to interact with your portfolio management system and get maybe even better insights, or see things that you wouldn't have seen beforehand, because the AI might have pattern recognition that you don't have as a user. So this is something we do look into. But yeah, it's not going to be like this flashy AI agent type thing.
Got it. And taking a step back and going again, talking about funds and TradFi, like, do you think that really TradFi and crypto are really converging, or no, or it will still take time We see all these news every day of more and more TradFi. Wall Street is now fully on crypto. Like, how do you see that playing out for Autowhale, for the future of the company? And what is your opinion really on the future of TradFi versus crypto?
I think it's converging. I think it is converging for sure. I think RWAs are a great example on how commodities and hopefully at some point stocks are going to get tokenized and more of the traditional finance industry is getting on chain. I think that's very exciting. On the other hand, like LPs and institutions are allocating more to digital assets. I think like the ETF set a very good benchmark and gave confidence to institutional investors to allocate to Web3 and digital assets. And that's something I'm excited about. And obviously goes into our thesis and what we're building, that we are like trying to capitalize on the growing market. So definitely looking forward to the next years. It's nothing that happens overnight, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah. Like, and in your opinion, what should be the single thing right now that is really hyped up that all the institutions more on TradFi side should know about DeFi and crypto? Like, what is the hype thing that you feel that not all the TradFi users know, but they should know?
I think that lots of TradFi and institutional capital flows into Bitcoin, obviously because of the different vehicles that are kind of MicroStrategy 2.0s that were introduced. But I feel like lots of them are missing out on really interesting stuff on the DeFi and on the kind of smart contract side, and the like serious capital that is going into the space has often not the liquidity to go into these more long tail kind of protocols that we find cool, but still having a allocation, getting their feet wet in more the kind of layer 2s and like layer 1s that are out there is a good first step. I think that's just, it's not that they're looking to get on a certain hype train. I think it's just that they need to gradually process into the kind of basket of altcoins or like L2s or ones that are out there.
And on your opinion, what is really the biggest trend happening in the market right now? Like, last year was all about restaking. Now restaking is dying out a little bit. And in your opinion, what is really the next big thing?
I mean, AI agents, AI in general is something that is all over the place. I have yet to see like a really proper use case of combination of AI agents, AI and crypto. AI in itself and what ChatGPT, OpenAI, Anthropic, and so on are doing is amazing. The overlap conversions with crypto I have yet to see, but we'll see. I know that there's lots of funding going into that, obviously. So we'll see maybe in the next year or so what comes out there. But there's definitely, from a VC perspective, lots of hype in that space. And on the other side, stablecoins and RWAs are definitely a massive hype. And I think this is more substantial even. I think lots of in South America, I think in obviously El Salvador and stuff like that, the adoption of crypto payments is also accelerating. So this is more the non-degen hype that is out there, which is, I think, what matters more long-term as well.
100%. And I think that's why, for example, this year, DevCon is going to be in Argentina, right? Because you have all these new players in Latin America really entering in full force. And that really brings a new perspective to the market. And that is like completely different thing, right? And it's all about the users. A lot of users, which is fantastic. And the stablecoin thing, as you said, I have a friend that he moved to Philippines specifically to build a stablecoin just to gather all the users from there. Because yes. I think so much users, so 100% agree. Yes. I have actually a spicy question for you now, which is, are we in a bull market or no? Like, are we in a real bull market? What is your opinion there?
I don't want to sound cocky or anything, but I think I predicted kind of since the last 2 years pretty well. Like I said, like we're going to go into end of last year, top out between 100, 150K, have a downturn, and then maybe like stabilize around 100, 120 going into Q3 of this year. And then have like a blow off top end of the year this year at 250, 200, something like that. So it's a bull market. I would say it's a bull market, but it's not the typical bull market that you experienced so far. Especially when it comes to altcoins. I do think we have kind of intoxicated our space a bit with all the VC money that has been flooded into all kinds of random protocols, and so that's something that is kind of pulling back the altcoin season in a bit. But Bitcoin is for sure in a bull market. You cannot negate that. And I do believe that altcoin season is coming at some point. And maybe not for everything. Maybe it's more nuanced than previously, but it will come. And I think that's still ahead of us.
Yeah, like I follow very closely the Arthur Hayes reports. I don't know if you follow that also. But the prediction is exactly the same thing. Is 250K by
really?
year end. Yeah, it's 250K by year end. So I'm also betting on that 250K by, let's say, December or something. And let's have an amazing Christmas there. Like, I think it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think before that we'll still have like some out season. I think the last weeks have been, at least before the recent like drop that we had 1 or 2 weeks ago, but before that it had some signs where I think BNB reached all-time high.
Yeah.
Solana is kind of gearing up. Ethereum recovered really nicely. I think there is more momentum coming, at least to some of the altcoins, which is good to see as well.
No, 100%. I do agree. And with that said, like we are curious to know, our listeners are curious to know what's next for Autowhale. Really, like, let us know the alpha. Let us know what's next in the end of Q3, Q4 next year. Like all the news, all the things that you guys are cooking, and any alpha that you can share for future users, future funds that might be listening.
Yeah. We are in the process of launching our beta version of the portfolio management system, and it's we have quite a long waitlist already of funds that have signed up for it. But we are giving, as I said, like a free tier where it's very easy to onboard. You can just start using it and join the beta program that's already there. We are kind of in private beta right now, and in a month from now it will be opened up publicly. So any funds who might be listening, more than happy to walk them through and give them access to that. And what we are like on the horizon, kind of what's coming up is to basically be able to help those institutions that are onboarding, or those funds that are onboarding on the PMS side, to help them with what I shared earlier, to help them introduce them to a platform where we have our kind of network of LPs connecting with the network of quants on our platform, to be able to find LPs, to be able to find strategies to allocate to. And that's what I'm excited about, because ultimately this is what it comes down to funds, is that they have a proper access to strategies and to LPs, if the performance is right, obviously, from them. And that's what we are looking forward to.
And you guys are going to be at all the events, I suppose.
Obviously,
yeah, of course. Like, you guys are going to be at Token, at DevCon, everywhere. So no, we definitely will see you, see each other there. But are you going to be at KBW too, or no?
So my next one is going to be where we just had a recently announced a partnership with OKX, and they are sponsoring McLaren. So my next one is going to be in Amsterdam for the F1, which I'm excited about. After that, Sam is actually going to CoinFest, and then it's like, it might be KBW, but definitely Token. And after that, Digital Asset Summit London, European Blockchain Convention in Barcelona, probably. That's not exactly sure. And then we'll see about then DevCon is in November, I believe.
Okay. You are moving. So I'm going to be at the Taipei Blockchain Week in early September. Then Korea for KBW, then Singapore, and then of course DevCon.
Awesome. That's a good schedule.
So we see each other there 100%. Now I think it's going to be a beautiful Q4, like bull vibes, good events, and everyone networking. So I think it's going to be really, really nice. And last request, please tell our audience where they can find you, where they can find Autowhale, maybe chill a little bit, your URLs, your social media, and we are good to close.
Obviously, appreciate that. Autowhale.io, our website. You can check us out there. If you want to sign up for the PMS, actually it's pms.autowhale.io. Quite easy. And then we are across, I don't know, LinkedIn, Twitter. Just search for Autowhale. It's kind of a unique name. Myself, Autowhale Thomas on Twitter and on LinkedIn as well. I'm mostly active actually on LinkedIn rather than Twitter, unfortunately. But
yeah, I'm the same. So I think it's more like the TradFi background like really pushes you for LinkedIn more than Twitter. That's like if you are like completely hardcore only crypto, you are only Twitter. If you are like between TradFi and crypto, you are on LinkedIn for sure.
100%.
Yeah. Perfect, man. Thank you so much. And I think it was a beautiful episode. Guys listening out there, like thank you very much for tuning in. Expect new episodes all the time. We're always recording, bringing amazing guests. And Thomas, thank you again very much. And we'll see you in the next one. Thank you, guys.
Nice.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Gigabrain is brought to you by Swell Labs. To find out more about Swell, go to swellnetwork.io and make sure to search for Gigabrain in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Hit the follow button so you don't miss any future episodes. Thanks for listening.